An outline of different coaching approaches and philosophies for different participant groups. Presentation by Ethan Tyra. What is a philosophy? A philosophy is a set of moral beliefs that determine a coach's behavior in a range of situations, states Robinson 2010. Therefore, coaching a philosophy is usually a practice of the coach's that underlines his beliefs and morals in a specific situation. An example of this can be seen in football. Matteo, a semi-professional under-16s coach, feels that time management, fair play, and respect are key for any of his young performers aged 14 to 16. Consequently, he has stated that if anyone turns up late to training or matches and haven't texted him beforehand with a reason, they will start on the bench or will not be involved in the game. This is because he believes his role is to both develop and prepare the young performers for the professional game. The diagram shows the different factors that can influence the coach's philosophy and why he then conducts his practices in this way. As a result, Matteo may use these actions because of past experiences where he has been late and his coach at the time has conducted him with this punishment. The two diagrams are two different interpretations of the four spectrums that make up sports development. In this presentation, I will be looking at elite, performance, and participation, comparing the different coaching approaches and philosophies for each participant group. Elite. Elite is at the top of the sports development pyramid and is the pinnacle in most sports. Cross 1999 states that elite level athletes are goal orientated and want specific and precise feedback. As stated by Nav in 2010, elite performers need goals in order to know whether they're on the right path. An elite level performer should know the skill to an autonomous level and therefore will not need a physical demonstration. However, the coach should perform the session in a stop-start approach in order to give their performer effective feedback, therefore helping the development of the performer. Robinson 2010. UK Sport have stated their main responsibility is to ensure that the resources available to support our Olympic and Paralympic athletes are targeted to maximise their chance of medal success. The funding from UK Sport has gone to technical developments through new equipment. As well as this, every national governing body have adopted a long-term athlete development model, otherwise known as LTAD. The LTAD comprises of 6 stages after its latest development in 2004. Stafford 2005 states that it is one of a number of approaches that focus on key common principles of individual development. The diagram is Robinson 2010's perspective of effective feedback. In this phase, feedback is crucial as it will provide the performer with key technical developments that they will need to work on in order to gain success at the very highest level, as well as maximizing their potential. In this stage, a coach may adopt his philosophy depending on the individual, environment, as well as a number of other factors. However, they will still obtain the same beliefs and morals throughout. Performance. As stated by Robinson 2010, the performance stage includes elite clubs, development centres, county and regional performers. This consists mostly of current athletes who have ambitions in the sport of making it to the highest level. Lau 1999 states that performance coaching is to prepare athletes for competition, and therefore the coach has to go to greater extents of planning, monitoring and managing. Preparation is crucial during this phase, as there is much more emphasis on the development and improvement of the performer, which can be affected by a number of different influences. According to Porteous 2011, he proposes that the 3 boxes in front of you in pink, career guidance, education advice, and life management, as well as a number of other factors, all contribute to an improvement in the athlete's performance, and therefore should be controlled to the best of standards. Currently, there are many different strategies going on, one of them being at Fulham Football Club, where they have set up a pioneering education program as they attempt to maximise their players' potential through education. Lee Hager, the Academy Operations Manager, has stated that his main responsibility is to oversee the education and welfare of the boys in the academy. One way in which they are attempting to maximise and improve their players' talent is through educational schemes. Nowadays in sport, such as football, it is very hard for young players to make it to the elite level. However, one initiative of the academy is to invest time and provide opportunities for the young performers outside of football. All scholars are now required to do an educational program, either Advanced Apprenticeship or Sports Excellence, otherwise known as AASE, or continuation of their national education from overseas. Therefore, the coaching approach may change to that of an elite coach, as an elite coach is under far more pressure being a results business. Robinson 2010. An example of this may be a coach choosing to play an injured player if it means they have a better chance of getting a good result, rather than caring about the well-being of the athlete and the long-term effects it could have on them. Participation. In the participation phase, according to Navin 2010, the people usually taking part are children. The diagram is how Gold 1987 perceives how young children are motivated in continuing or taking up a sport. The main characteristics identified is that of having fun and being with new and current friends. The government have suggested that children between the ages 5 to 18 should participate in at least 60 minutes of physical activity a day. In response to the government's latest scheme, Sport in Future, as of May 2016, Sport England have initiated an aim to increase the number of people participating in sport that they love through 7 investment programs that run to 2021. This includes creating welcoming sports facilities throughout the community. Duda, 1997, suggests that a major factor when coaching children is the child's self-esteem. As a result, a coach should ensure that the child has successful experiences, Hager 2003, and praise them when doing so. By praising them on successful experiences, the child's self-esteem would increase, resulting in them feeling good about their sport-related activity, hence why they would continue to take up the sport. The coach should approach the practice with a lot of short, quick activities to maintain the participants' interest, rather than a structured plan like that in the performance phase. Often in the participation phase, a coach can find themselves coaching mixed genders, backgrounds, and abilities. Therefore, it is imperative that the coach makes the session inclusive for each individual. Research shows that women feel more comfortable in single-sex contexts and are more likely to participate in women-only sessions. Penny 2002. This has seen more developments in women-only sessions, such as that at Walsall Sports Centre, where they have delegated hours in the week, where only women are allowed in the pool. A current strategy going on to integrate and help coaches develop gender inclusion is through literature. Lyons and Stiller 2003 provide a guideline which includes: do not allow boys to dominate, involve boys and girls equally in principal roles, and do not prioritize boys for the best training and match times. An example of how a coach can integrate both boys and girls in football is making sure that everyone touches the ball at least once before they shoot at a goal. Comparison. The diagram shows the different characteristics of performers and coaches within the 3 participant groups. At elite level, participants are hungry to succeed and motivated to participate, whereas in the performance stage, performers want to learn and often you have to control variables. Compare this with the participation phase. The participants want to have fun and enjoy time with friends. Therefore, a coach's approach and philosophy will have to adapt and change to suit that of the individuals and groups. An example of this is where a coach at elite level would approach coaching his or her athlete by focusing on a specific element that the performer has to work on throughout the whole session and then provides them with detailed feedback and analysis. However, if performing this in a participation group to kids, they will lose focus and concentration, therefore the coach will have to adapt his approach to make it more appropriate for the participants. This can be done through a number of quick and fun activities. In this stage, the coach shouldn't provide as much feedback, if any, and just let the kids play as they are there to have fun. If the coach performs a session to the participants in a performance stage, they will have to adapt their approach and maybe philosophy depending on the individuals. In this phase, the coach could adopt a stop-start approach in order to explain and perfect tactics for upcoming competition. According to Navin 2010, this is seen as the preparation phase. My philosophy. For the last year, I've been coaching in the participation spectrum, and my philosophy is to both develop the individual's knowledge and understanding of the sport, as well as providing athletes with competitive situations. Despite having this philosophy, I know that in some situations I will have to adapt it. For example, if I was to coach elite level athletes, this would have to change, as most athletes will have a full understanding of the game, and it is a job where results matter, not just a recreational activity. Robinson 2010. Therefore, I would adapt my philosophy whilst keeping my morals and beliefs within it. An example of this is if I was coaching elite level basketball, I would play my best players for as long as possible, meaning some players wouldn't get time on the court. Whereas if I was coaching in the participation phase, I would let everyone have the same game time. This is the end of my presentation. Thank you for watching.